to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. 3/4 of the NFL season are complete. What lurks in our final month? We're underway in Week 14.
Fake here on first down.
And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Chris Jones. He's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11.
Leopard!
The former Indiana Hoosier, Tevin Coleman, takes this to the 27. Give him 4 yards.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now.
From the gun, Jackson. He's got the hook up to John Brown on the right side. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And it's Chiefs football. 1st and 10. Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
3 down. Ready! Blue 45!
They start with a give to Connor. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. You often say that sort of opens the playbook now, 2nd and short. What do you think, early shot here?
I like where you're going. Obviously, we've been together for a while because you know me. I want to take that shot early and loosen things up.
Let's go, G. Tighten up. Let's go. 48 Mike. 48 Mike. Ace! Let's get that ball.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Blue 45. Blue 45.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes sliding out of the pocket. And this is caught by Watkins. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws.
So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Ware takes the give from Mahomes. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Right. He's tight right here. He's tight on the right.
Mahomes to throw on 2nd down. Completes it to Spencer Ware. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Give him 9 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd down.
Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45.
Throwing now is Mahomes. He'll hit Watkins. Watkins on the crossing route. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Mahomes to the former Rams, Sammy Watkins for the Kansas City first.
Ace, ace. Ready. Green 39. Green 39.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all this stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Green 90. Green 90.
Right back to him on first down. And he's able to get this inside the 10 now to the 9. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Eluding the pressure right. Flush to his right. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Taking matters into his own hands, and he picks up 4 yards and a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Ace, ace.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
Black 58 round.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
He'll get it up the middle. And he is in. Touchdown, Kansas City. Spencer Ware, his 9th touchdown of the season. And the Chiefs are going to take a first-quarter lead. This is a crew, they've come out flat their last 2 games, both losses, but just judging by the energy level, they look different here early, and that touchdown shows how.
Yeah, it seems to me that touchdown gets them off the treadmill. Because, you know, you've been on the treadmill. I've seen you work out. You go forever and ever, and it tells you you've gone somewhere, but you really have. You're in the same spot. They've exchanged it for an escalator. Still got some hills to climb, but they can get there.
These are good analogies. I run outside sometimes, though. You know, get some fresh air, a little sun on your face.
A little wind in there.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light thing. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's got his rookie tight end. It's Mark Andrews. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. It's his first catch, and it'll be good for 15 and a first down. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Caught on the right side by Jones. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
Black 99 Philly, here we go.
Now Jackson on first down. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Anthony Hitchens. And the return stops just a little bit shy of midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10, just shy of midfield at the 48. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
Partner, I think from our experience together, we have learned that most offensive coordinators are going to tell you, if I'm going to run the football on 1st down, I've got to get at least 4 yards. They got 5 here. They've got to feel pretty good about that one.
Here we go now. Blue 45. Blue 45.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. Caught here by Conley. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
One of the things you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective. They're able to stop him before he can get a good head of steam going.
Throw for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he got blown up, losing yardage on the play back at the 44. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 4th down. So here's Dustin Colquitt now to punt this away for the Chiefs. He'll send this one into the Midwestern air, and it's a good one. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it into the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
On the ground with their leading rusher from a season ago, it's Alex Collins. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here, because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on 1st down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal, because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
That one good for 13 and a Raven 1st down.
All right, here we go. Green 39. Green.
On 1st, they go right back to Collins. And he's going to bull his way forward to the 48. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's Collins. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
And some space here. 20. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Tevin Coleman hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Ravens are an extra point away from tying the football game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And an excellent return there as he's up to the 35 and make it the 40-yard line.
In a tie game, both sides are looking for something to give them an advantage. It often falls back on special teams, and that return, that could be the spark to untie the game.
Mahomes will lead the Chiefs up 1st and 10 at the 40.
Ready. Green 39. Green 39.
To throw, it's Mahomes. Escaping the pressure right. He's going to let this go deep, back over the middle. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Here we go.
Now it's Connor. Powerful running. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Sometimes those lines that are drawn on a grease board or in a playbook, they come to life out on the field, don't they? And we just saw that on that outside handoff to the right.
That right tackle, he gets excited for that call, doesn't he?
He does, because he just wants to dominate his guy and say, listen, I was the point of attack. I took care of business. That's why you're able to get downfield and add all those yards to your total.
Yeah, really nice gain there. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Yeah, baby. Yeah. Check.
2 minutes to play in a tightly contested first half. We're back to Arrowhead after this.
Tight end right. Here we go. Blue 45. Blue 45. Run.
Now Mahomes giving to Ware on the draw. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. They get 9 yards back on the run there, and they're left with a much more makeable 3rd and 2.
But you got to give kudos to your offensive line and the guy carrying the ball, because they were in a second and long situation. It seemed pretty dire, but they brought it back to 3rd and manageable with that run.
Mahomes looking to throw on 3rd and 2. He'll leave this for Ware. And he gets this down to the 18. Good enough for a first down. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Sometimes play calls boil down to philosophy. You know you're facing one of the top 10 units against the run in the NFL. So do you decide to keep smashing against them, or do you decide to throw the ball here?
To the right side, it's Kelsey. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down. Mahomes looks to throw on 3rd down. He's got the hook up with Conley. And they'll lose yardage here. They go backwards to the 13-yard line. Now Harrison Butker for the field goal try. And Butker able to put this one through. But now there is a penalty marker on the field, so let's see what this is about. After the field goal, here's Butker to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They go play action now. Jackson rolling to his right. But I think the ball's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
They go play action with Jackson. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. The Chiefs offense now making their way back onto the field. And you got to think, if this is anything other than just taking a knee, I'd be very surprised.
Yeah, they've got enough to talk about at the half. Why do anything else? Let's get out of there.
They'll run now with Ware. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From the 26, they'll line up on 2nd and 4.
Here we go. Red 38.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And with just 1 second remaining in the first half, they'll call the timeout. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now Morris. The final shot before break. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So we've come upon halftime here in Arrowhead with the Chiefs on top as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, ready for the start of the third quarter. The Chiefs have the lead and set to receive the football. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Here we go. Red 38. Red 38. Watch out.
Morris now to throw on 2nd down. Flushed out right. Oh, what a move. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on that one. Kansas City has a 1st down.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Here we go. What? 90.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Now it appears we've got a Chief moving pretty gingerly down there. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46.
3 down. Hey, check.
To throw is Morris. Off the play fake. Out to his left. Throw left side complete. That's Harris. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Back-to-back nice plays. 12 yards that time and a 1st down.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice first down.
Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Here we go.
Looking to throw on second down. Morris eluding the pressure right. And he'll head out of bounds inside the 10. Mark him down at the 9. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
Sometimes it's designed, and sometimes you just have to know when to leave the pocket and move and make something happen. And on that play, he was able to get on the run and was still accurate throwing the football.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That's it, baby. That's it. That's it. Big hit.
Moved back to the 10. They'll try on second and goal
Ohio!
here.
Ohio! Here we go! Red 38! Red 38! Watch 84! Watch 84!
Back to throw. Morris. That's complete right around the 8. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. That time the completion goes for 4 yards, and we're set up with a third and goal. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal?
We got three, fellas. We got three. Come on, let's go! White 90! White 90!
Looking to throw. Morris. And that is caught for the touchdown, Kansas City. Chris Conley with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Chiefs add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Butker now to kick this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Ravens offense getting ready now for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. It's a big play there for Baltimore. 44 yards on the ground.
Here we go! Red 30!
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. The loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
The left side completion to Jones. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. second down. Here's Jackson. Drops it off for Coleman. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a first and goal. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Jackson on first down. Going underneath, it's Coleman. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. Nice job defensively to hold him to 4, and now it's second and goal. The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. Throwing is Jackson. Flush to his right. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore. Lamar Jackson, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Ravens draw a bit closer. And he's able to put it through. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
The drive will start with Connor. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
You got 3 down, 3 down. Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38.
Morris looking to throw on second down. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And that'll bring up a third down.
Yeah, baby, yeah.
Here's Morris to throw on third down. And able to find Conley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. We're back now in KC. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. This quarterback now 5 of 6. Very accurate since taking over. And he's got his guys a first down.
Come on, let's go. Red 38. Red 38. Better freak. Let you know right now, you better.
And they'll run it here. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Chiefs first down. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch.
Guys, check me out. We got 3 down, but we got to stand up over there.
They go play action here on first down. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll go down at the 28. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Well, a clear running situation. Try to take time off the clock. You ran the previous play. Set that play action up nicely.
Boy, did they ever, because they'd shown the ability to run the football. So now you lose your keys as a defense. You dive for the running play, and they get them over the top.
And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs. How about this offensive line? They're really starting to establish themselves, take over this game.
And before the series began, I know exactly what was said in the defensive huddle. Guys, we got to get no less than a 3 and out. Let's get off the field. Instead, they can't find any traction towards doing that. Right now, they're just getting muscled all over the field and getting pushed down it.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Well, you know you don't want to make a mistake in that area, so you make sure you make a smart throw. Throw it out towards the sidelines. If you overshoot your guy, so be it. It's just the incompletion that we saw there.
Let's go!
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
Here we go! Red 38! Red 38!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this one down near the 15. It's a pickup of 3, but it brings up what will be an interesting 4th and 1.
So many things go into making a good play on defense. In this situation, just not being blown out of the way was a big start, and then a nice tackle to finish things off.
And now the Raven defense going to call a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And the kick by Butker is good. And they stretch the lead to 6. It's 20-14 now. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
This is Coleman, and the window closes quickly. He'll only get up to the 22-yard line. Now it appears we've got an injured Raven down there on the field. We'll step aside and get an update when we return to Arrowhead.
Hey, you got 3 down, 3 down. All right, here we go. 3-19! 3-19! All right, now, lucky 56.
Now Jackson on 2nd down. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Flacco looking for his first toss. And he's got Snead. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. And that one results in 35 yards. They've been struggling in the passing game. Do you like the aggressiveness there? I mean, it worked on that play, but do you like it?
I do, because a lot of the time you're struggling because your passing lanes are clogged. That usually happens when you're throwing the ball underneath. People start to press up on you. Push them deep. Find some space and open things up again. Being aggressive there, I think, will pay off for them.
That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. And again, it's Flacco to throw. There he goes inside the 30. Got a man. It's Brown. And he takes it all the way down to the 22. A good pickup there, a 22.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route. Drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by the free safety, Eric Berry. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
Here we
on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to be taken down right at about the 15-yard line. And this defense here going to burn their second timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning.
Here we go! Red 38! Red 38! Ohio! Ohio!
They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. It'll go as a gain of 10 and a Kansas City first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Now they try the right side here. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So they come up on second down. If they can get another run like we just saw, it would likely put an end to this thing. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one 28 yards on the ground.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10. They'll run him now out of the gun. And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter, do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that.
And Butker able to put this one through. And that will make this a 9-point lead. So barring something extraordinary here in the closing stages, that field goal should just about put this one on ice.
Yeah, we've got to find 2 scores. So, we're not going to exactly move it over there yet. It can be done, but, boy, it's going to be a little bit of a stretch for them.
Yeah, they would have to move incredibly quick and have some luck, too. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They might be thinking this is close to a lost cause here. Got to play it out. What do they need to do?
Well, they have a thought process in mind already, but they can't get ahead of themselves. They know that they need to score quickly.
Yep, 2-score game.
Onside kick and get the ball back and then score again. But they can't worry about the last 2 points. The only thing that matters is scoring quickly. Then they'll take it from there.
And a nice run past the 30-yard line there. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. The Ravens moving quickly here as the clock runs. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's 3rd down.
Oh, partner, that play brought back memories. Watching them string it out, letting the runner get all the way to the sideline area, but not letting him get out of bounds. They formed that picket fence and didn't allow him through.
Not only that, got him for a loss as well here. And one of the reasons they lead in the fourth quarter, plays like that.
Yeah, it took a little more time off the clock, making him do it that way, didn't it?
He's got the first down and more past the 40. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. That one 28 yards on the ground. Down to 7 seconds now. 6. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way.